Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I want to talk to you primarily about the latest speeches that we had from Hassan Nasrallah, the Secretary General of Hezbollah, and Abu Obeida, who is the spokesperson for Kataib Izzuddin al-Qassam Brigades, who is the armed wing of the Hamas. Now, with regards to Nasrallah, he made some threatening statements. Obviously, Israel massacred over 11 civilians in Lebanon in the past few days, and one of the most severe ones of them was the Nabatiya massacre. They killed several women and children. And Nasrallah said that the enemy will pay the price and that the places that were attacked, they did not include anything for the resistance in terms of like surveillance or anything that they were attacking the Israelis from. This is signaling that we're escalating more and more in Lebanon. Hezbollah usually try and stick to the status quo that began after they entered the Al-Aqsa flood battle on the 8th of October. And they don't want it to reach an escalation and an all-out level. However, this tone from Nasrallah is signaling that we might indeed see an increased tension on the Lebanese front. And it wasn't just him. As a matter of fact, the most inflammatory messages came from Israel prior to this speech. Israel has been constantly increasing its presence on the Lebanese borders in the northern part of Israel, and they made several statements that they will attack the Lebanese capital, similarly to what they did in Gaza. As a matter of fact, Yoav Gallant, the Israeli defense minister, he already said back in November that we are able to do to the civilians in Beirut what we did to the civilians in Gaza. You have a direct admission from these people that they target civilians, and I'm not sure why these things are hidden in mainstream media. The people outright say that they're targeting civilians. It's the same person, Yoav Gallant, who said that you're fighting human animals when it comes to Gaza. And another important thing that Israel did in the past few weeks is the fact that they have Division 36 ready in northern Israel, the same division that was in Gaza previously and that they withdrew after they failed in Gaza. Now, all of this escalation is coming despite the fact that many people in Israel, including military intelligence leaders, previous and current, are threatening and warning against this escalation. I mean, the latest development that I spoke about yesterday is one of the previous Amman heads saying that we're incapable of having wars in two fronts. However, the current government and the war cabinet led by Benjamin Netanyahu, although it has disagreements within it, they're clearly moving towards escalation, and this escalation is serving no one but Benjamin Netanyahu. The second thing that I want to talk about is Abu Obeida. Abu Obeida came up with a statement. Now, obviously, they release videos, they publish videos constantly. But Abu Obeida came with a recorded message today, and I highlighted key things from his message today. He obviously starts off his speeches with like quotes from the Quran. He spoke about things relating to Pharaoh. He also said that the October the 7th attacks, they're the beginning of the end of Israel and the downfall of Israel, which he described as the longest occupation in recent history. Al-Aqsa flood, according to him, will continue. It won't go quiet until it removes the occupation. He said that we're witnessing a turning point in our nation's history, and that our people, according to him, are fighting Zionist American genocide. He clearly stated that, Zionist American genocide. With regards to the people, he reiterated that they share the same pain and losses as the resistance, and the resistance is embedded in the Palestinian people. He described the Israeli army as one that includes a barbarism and a racist, abominable ideology, and that they are still destroying their machinery and targeting their soldiers in every single way possible in multiple locations across all of the Gaza Strip. He also added that they declare some of the actions and publish them. Obviously, we see constant videos of Al Qassam brigades that they publish targeting Israeli tanks or Israeli soldiers, but he said that they do not publish all of them. And they do not publish all of them because of the sensitivity of the security situation and for complex situations on the ground. He also added that they have thousands of fighters ready to fight that still haven't even entered the battle. Now, Israel's been repeating that they dismantled 20 brigades of Hamas, and they're going to dismantle a further 4 apparently in Rafah, although at one point Benjamin Netanyahu himself, he said that they dismantled all of them, but in the same speech he said we have 4 left. Clear lies. He also added that they don't want to comment too much on Israel's, and I'm obviously explaining here in brief, it's not a translation word per word, but the highlights of it really, just to get you the message of his speech, his statement. He said that he wouldn't comment on all of the lies that Israel is talking, but he said that Israel is posting a lot of lies and delusions when it comes to the losses of the resistance, and it's primarily for domestic purposes for the Israeli public who are trusting Netanyahu and the government less and less, which is quite evident when it comes to Israel. As a matter of fact, it's very evident when it comes to even the split in the war cabinet between the Israeli leadership, the political leadership, and the military leadership. Another very important thing he said is that the Israeli prisoners in Gaza, their situation is getting worse and worse by the day due to ongoing Israeli bombardment. Obviously, they declared that some of them lost their lives a few days ago because of Israeli bombardment. 3 of them, 3 or 5, I think, were killed, and others were wounded. But he's saying that many others are deteriorating when it comes to health, and many of them have injuries as well. I mean, so far we're talking about over 80 Israeli prisoners in Gaza killed due to Israeli bombardment. We've had 50 only in the first month when it comes to Israeli prisoners in Gaza. However, that number is increasing, and we've seen a lot of evidence, and I spoke many times about how Israel kills its own citizens in Gaza, including their own soldiers, added obviously by their massacres in the Nova Festival and their massacres in the Israeli kibbutzes, according to multiple evidence and witness statements that we've heard from Israel and things that were published by Israel following those events. He also sent a message to the Palestinian people in the end that it's our destiny. Allah wrote on us, he said, to be on this land and fight this enemy, that God cursed in every book and showed anger upon them and cursed them, and wrote that he would surely continue to send upon them until the day of resurrection those who would afflict them with the worst torment. We as the people and the resistance continue to remain on this land and fight by the eye of God according to him. And he has chosen martyrs from us and treated us with great and basically gave us great sacrifice. We had great sacrifice that will be hopefully followed by relief and near victory by the will of God. And he finished it up by obviously greeting the Palestinians and saying that nothing can describe their value and their actual state of the Palestinian people in Gaza, primarily their resilience. And he also mentioned that it is our covenant to continue the oath of the martyrs and write by our hands the healing of the believers' hearts. And he obviously ended up with, it is a struggle victory or martyrdom. So these were the main highlights from Abu Ubaida's statement, which really conclude that these people are continuing to fight. They're not going to stop. And clearly, it's not going to end with whatever deal that we have here, although the deal is looking further away from reality, really. It's not looking like it's going to be implemented anytime soon, particularly with the stubbornness, obviously, from Benjamin Netanyahu and his persistence on him having all of the say when it comes to the deal, decide exactly what's happening, and there's a high level of distrust when it comes to the closest people to him. These were the main things that I want to talk about in this video. In my live stream tonight, obviously, you can discuss these things with me, ask any questions if you like. I will also be talking about the American administration's plan to enforce a Palestinian state solution and the outrage from the Israeli government. So join me at 10 GMT. Subscribers and members can obviously share and participate, ask questions as well, and I will hopefully see you soon in the next video. Take care.